After defeating Mechagodzilla, Kong established his territory on Hollow Earth and searched for more of his kind. As Kong was hunting his quarry, he was chased by a pack of ferocious wolf monsters. With a strong survival instinct, Kong tried to escape from the monsters' pursuit. However, he came to a dead end filled with deep ravines. With his incredible intelligence and strength, Kong used the situation as an opportunity to turn the tables. He had prepared a trap by placing sharp thorns in front of him. As the wolf monsters approached, they were caught in the traps Kong had prepared and received fatal injuries. However, Kong did not stop there. Expertly, he unleashed another trap of huge rocks he had prepared from the wall, falling on the remaining werewolves with devastating force. The thunderous sound of the falling stones shook the surrounding ground, leaving the monsters helpless under the rubble. Although many had died, a few werewolf monsters still survived. Kong showed his dominance terrifyingly. Bravely, Kong displayed his power by taking the corpse of one of the wolf monsters and splitting it in two, showing that he was the king of the territory. As a result, fear struck the hearts of the remaining werewolf monsters, and they fled, leaving Kong alone among the ruins and corpses of the defeated monsters. Kong sat on the highest peak in Hollow Earth, gazing up at the vast sky and the werewolf corpses before him. However, despite successfully conquering his enemy, Kong felt a sadness creeping into his heart. Kong began to eat his quarry while lost in thought. The vast world of Hollow Earth unfolded around him, full of stunning natural beauty, but also the loneliness that came with it. Despite successfully subduing the wolf monster and reaching the pinnacle of solitude, Kong could not shake the nagging pain inside his mouth. Kong's powerful canines now wiggled with every movement he made, causing sharp, unbearable pain. Kong felt the pain stabbing at his roots, making him uncomfortable even as he tried to savor his quarry. Every bite or chew Kong took caused excruciating pain, but he couldn't remove the teeth quickly. Kong felt trapped in this agonizing condition. The scene moved to a new studio, where Dr. Eileen Andrews, an eminent scientist who has learned a lot about Godzilla and Kong, was presenting the news. Seriously, she delivered the information to viewers around the world. She explained that the two had separated into different territories, with Kong in the world of Hollow Earth and Godzilla on Earth's surface. As such, the potential for conflict between the two has been significantly reduced as the likelihood of their meeting has become smaller. Dr. Eileen also cautioned that despite this, they were still a force to be reckoned with, and the situation continued to be monitored closely. The screen suddenly changed to show a battle between Godzilla and a giant spider monster emerging from the darkness. With its deadly tentacles, the spider monster seemed to want to invade Godzilla's territory on Earth's surface. With undeniable tenacity, Godzilla stepped forward to face this new threat. A battle ensued between two powerful forces. Godzilla and the spider monster crashed into each other, filling the screen with thrilling action. Godzilla used his strength and speed to attack the spider monster, throwing it to the ground with incredible force. However, the spider monster was undeterred and counterattacked with its deadly tentacles, trying to catch Godzilla. The spider monster's tentacles managed to bind Godzilla's mouth, leaving him trapped in its powerful grip. However, with incredible strength, Godzilla managed to break free by unleashing a deadly burst of atomic breath, crushing the spider monster's head instantly. After finishing his grueling battle, Godzilla entered a magnificent colossal monument. Inside, Godzilla felt safe and calm. With no threat lurking, Godzilla decided to rest. With graceful movements, Godzilla wrapped his massive body around the center of the Colosseum. With his eyes slowly closed, Godzilla began to relax. His powerful body seemed to unravel, and his deep breathing showed he was calm. Before long, Godzilla fell asleep like a contented cat. At the Monarch headquarters on Hollow Earth, the team members tasked with keeping an eye on Kong suddenly had a mysterious signal filling their monitor screens. The signal came about because one of the lands on Hollow Earth had experienced a sudden collapse, sparking concern among the researchers. Monarch's members struggled to understand the meaning of the signal they were receiving. Was it a hidden message or just a natural sign of things to come in this underground world? Experienced scientists immediately began the analytical process of trying to understand the signal. They delved into the collected data, trying to correlate their information with possible interpretations of this mysterious signal. However, despite their best efforts, answers remained unclear. Dr. Eileen returned to Monarch headquarters after finishing her broadcast while monitoring two legendary monsters, Godzilla and Kong. She saw Godzilla sleeping peacefully in the surveillance room while Kong was in his place. The Monarch members said that until now, they had not understood the meaning of the signals they had received. They also did not know where the vibration signals were coming from. The scene moved to Jia's place. Jia was Dr. Eileen's adoptive daughter. She goes through her usual days as a student at the school founded by Monarch. However, suddenly, Jia felt something strange. Unconsciously, her hands began to move independently, forming a familiar symbol. The symbol had 3 triangles arranged symmetrically. It was the same symbol as the one at Kong's location. Jia's teacher, who was teaching the class, watched Jia's strange behavior with confusion and concern. Jia was usually an intelligent and responsible student. Still, her peculiar behavior made her worry about Jia's condition. After the incident, Jia's teacher decided to take action by calling Dr. Eileen, an expert from Monarch, to report what had happened to Jia. He showed her the paintings that Jia had made, hoping to gain a further understanding of what was going on. However, Jia's teacher was also frustrated and disappointed by the strange behavior Jia was displaying. Her strange behavior had made the classroom atmosphere tense and the other students fearful. Jia's teacher feels responsible for maintaining the comfort and safety of all the students in her class. Jia's strange behavior has disrupted that harmony. Dr. Eileen was upset to hear Jia's teacher's complaint. To her, Jia was not just an ordinary student, but the last descendant of her rare and precious tribe. Dr. Eileen felt a great responsibility to care for and protect Jia. Meanwhile, Jia, whom her teacher was now punishing, obediently erases the scribbles she has made on the table. Afterwards, Dr. Eileen took Jia back to their house. On the way back, Dr. Eileen tries to figure out what happened to Jia. She wanted to understand the reason behind the strange behavior that Jia had just experienced. Finally, when they arrived home, Dr. Eileen saw the scribbles that Jia had made earlier. She was shocked when she realized the graffiti had the same triangular symbol as the one on the Monarch headquarters adjacent to Kong's place. Puzzled, Dr. Eileen realized there might be a connection between Jia's strange visions and the symbol at the Monarch headquarters. She felt that the mystery involving Jia and the emblem might be more profound than she thought, and she was determined to find out the truth. Dr. Eileen was increasingly frustrated at not getting satisfactory answers regarding the mystery involving her daughter Jia and the signal detected at Kong headquarters. Despite asking the scientists at Monarch headquarters, they only dismissed the painting of Jia and the signal as a mere coincidence. Without a clear solution, Dr. Eileen finally sought help from someone who could provide a new perspective. She recalled Professor Bernie, an expert who had helped Monarch deal with the Godzilla vs. Kong issue earlier. With hope, Dr. Eileen went to Professor Bernie and asked for his help. Dr. Eileen explained the painting of her daughter, Jia, and the mysterious signal detected at Kong's headquarters. She felt that there was something more profound than mere coincidence behind all of this, and she desperately needed help to unravel it. After listening to Dr. Eileen's explanation, Professor Bernie agreed to help. However, he had a condition. He wanted to be allowed to go to Hollow Earth in exchange for the help he would provide. Dr. Eileen willingly accepted the condition, realizing that the safety of her daughter, Jia, and the Monarch's interests outweighed everything else. Dr. Eileen soon received a signal from the awakened Godzilla and, without hesitation, decided to leave immediately. She asked Professor Bernie to come with her, realizing they had to deal quickly with a situation that might become a significant threat. Meanwhile, back at the Monarch headquarters, panic began to set in when they realized that Godzilla had woken up for no apparent reason. They knew that when Godzilla woke up, it could be a sign of another emerging threat. Sure enough, the Monarch headquarters hunch proved correct when they discovered that Godzilla had woken up because the presence of Kong lured him. Kong, who came out of the Hollow Earth due to a bad tooth, seemed to suffer in the outside world. During the chaos, Jia, who was there, also saw Kong, who appeared to be in great pain in his mouth. Monarch headquarters decided to call in one of its subordinates, Trapper, an expert in dealing with giant creatures, to handle this emergency. Trapper accepted the task with great responsibility. Using his airplane, Trapper and his partner traveled to the location where Kong was. They worked quickly and carefully to sedate Kong's body to carry out their duties safely. Once Kong was unconscious, Trapper continued his task carefully. He used ropes attached to his aircraft to strengthen Kong's teeth and carefully extracted them. Although this task was difficult, Trapper tried his best to complete it. After successfully removing Kong's teeth, Trapper gave Kong iron dentures. These dentures were specially designed to replace Kong's extracted teeth, hoping to provide comfort and relief to Kong. With his job done, Trapper left Kong in a better state than before. Dr. Eileen reunited with Bernie, who informed her that he had discovered the hidden message of the triangular symbol that Dr. Eileen had previously asked about. Bernie explained that after investigating the previous signals, he found that the triangular signal was a request for help. It surprised Dr. Eileen, as they had previously dismissed the symbol as a mere coincidence. However, Bernie's explanation and analysis of previous data made Dr. Eileen believe in the discovery. With this new confidence, Dr. Eileen decided to take further action. She asked Monarch headquarters for permission to travel to Hollow Earth to learn more about the creature that gave the signal for help. The request for permission was eventually granted by Hollow Earth headquarters to Dr. Eileen, allowing her to travel there with her daughter Gia, Trapper, and Bernie. With all preparations made, Dr. Eileen and her entourage prepared to embark on a journey that could lead them on an adventure filled with mystery and danger in Hollow Earth. Dr. Eileen, Gia, Trapper, Bernie, and the elite Monarch soldiers prepared to go to Hollow Earth. They all entered the particular aircraft that will take them to their destination. On the way, Kong led the way to the portal to Hollow Earth, with their entourage following close behind. As Kong entered the first portal, the atmosphere around them became increasingly strange, and a different pressure began to be felt. Unfamiliar with Hollow Earth's teleportation system, Bernie started screaming hysterically out of fear. However, the group remained calm and focused as they followed Kong through the portal. In the end, their journey to Hollow Earth had arrived safely. They'd arrived safely in this mysterious and secretive world. With their hearts pounding, they prepared to face whatever awaited them inside Hollow Earth. Upon arriving at Hollow Earth, the group was presented with a beautiful view. They were mesmerized by the wild and exotic natural beauty around them. However, the beauty was soon offset by the presence of unique and terrifying creatures. They saw flocks of bird monsters inhabiting Hollow Earth. These creatures have large wings and brightly colored feathers, but what was most striking was their ability to conduct electricity, which they used as their primary weapon for survival. Realizing the potential danger, they immediately took action by changing the color of their aircraft to match that of the birds. It was done to avoid attacks from flocks of electric birds that might perceive their aircraft as a threat. With their aircraft customized, the group hoped to traverse the Hollow Earth region without attracting attention or causing conflict with the creatures. At Monarch headquarters, panic sets in when they detect the presence of Godzilla, who was destroying a nuclear reactor to obtain an energy source for his food. They immediately took action by sending a drone fighter to calm Godzilla down. However, their efforts soon came to naught as Godzilla easily stopped all the drones with a powerful blast of electromagnetic waves. The blast destroyed the entire drone force and affected the communication system between Dr. Eileen and Monarch headquarters. Losing communication with Monarch headquarters was a massive blow to Dr. Eileen and the group on Hollow Earth. They realized they were now cut off from the needed resources and support, leaving them with an even more significant challenge to deal with the Hollow Earth situation without Monarch headquarters' help. Dr. Eileen and company's plane had now landed near the Monarch headquarters area in Hollow Earth. However, a shocking surprise awaited them when they arrived there. The Monarch headquarters that they knew had been destroyed, leaving debris and chaos around it. They were shocked and dismayed to see the state of the base that was now in ruins. Without hesitation, they immediately moved to find out what had happened. After arriving at the guard post of the destroyed Monarch headquarters, they found a CCTV camera that was still intact. They hoped that the footage from the camera could provide clues as to what had happened here. However, when they checked around, they saw significant scratch marks on top of the guardhouse wall. The sight makes them realize that the destruction of the Monarch base was not carried out by humans, but by a giant, powerful, and ferocious creature. The scene shifted to Kong, who had returned to his lair inside Hollow Earth. There, Kong retrieved his most prized weapon, an axe made from the bones of the former Godzilla. However, while Kong was near his lair, he was surprised to see a new hole nearby. Intrigued by the newly appeared hole, Kong decided to explore it. He entered the hole and soon found himself in a new world he had never explored before, not even within this Hollow Earth. With great curiosity, Kong began exploring this new world by walking around. Each step revealed new, wondrous, and mysterious sights around him. However, the biggest surprise awaited Kong at the end of his journey through the hole. Inside, Kong found a tiny baby gorilla that had been lost there. The baby gorilla looked weak, and Kong felt sorry for it. Kong felt sorry for the fear in the little gorilla's eyes. His name was Suko. With great kindness, Kong tried to approach Suko carefully. He lowered his weapon and extended his hand in a sign of peace. When Suko seemed comfortable and started to approach Kong, it suddenly bit Kong's hand. Kong was shocked and in a bit of pain, but he tried to remain calm. However, the tension increases when adult gorillas inhabit the place. Kong was initially delighted to discover that he was not the only giant gorilla creature in the world. However, his excitement turned to disappointment when the adult gorillas showed ill will towards Kong. They all moved in together to attack Kong, regardless of Kong's previous peaceful efforts. With a heavy heart, Kong prepared himself to fight against the giant gorillas. Although he didn't want to hurt them, Kong knew he had to protect himself and Suko he had managed to capture from the imminent danger. The fight became intense, with Kong doing his best to dodge their attacks while trying not to hurt them more than necessary. Nonetheless, Kong persisted with incredible strength and courage. Eventually, Kong managed to defeat all the giant gorillas, but one of the large gorillas managed to escape. However, the little gorilla that Kong had captured was still there. Still sad about the battle, Kong decided to do something he had never done before. He told the little gorilla to take him to the giant gorilla's base. At first, the little gorilla was reluctant, but Kong firmly threatened him. Terrified, Zuko finally complied with Kong's request. Kong began his journey to the giant gorilla's base with Zuko as his guide. After scrolling through the CCTV footage of the destroyed Monarch base, Dr. Lean and her entourage were shocked to see the image of a giant eye similar to Kong's. However, they were still unable to ascertain what precisely the creature was. Uncertain about the beast, they continued traveling by plane until they finally arrived near the location of the triangular signal that was a request for help. After landing, they decided to continue their journey on foot. As they explored the mysterious forest they encountered, they were shocked to see the existence of a towering tree monster within the forest. However, things got even more tragic when one of their team members, a Monarch soldier, fell prey to the tree monster. In a panic, the group quickly fled the forest, realizing the dangers that lurked in the mysterious place. They realized they must remain vigilant and cautious while exploring Hollow Earth, as this world held many unknown dangers. Cautiously, they continued their journey, ready to face any challenges that might come their way. Also sensing the signal, Godzilla left Rome and attacked a nuclear plant in France to absorb the radiation. In the middle of the ocean, Godzilla's body was filled with so much radiant energy that light emanated from every crevice. With firm and steady steps, Godzilla headed toward a place that was the lair of the Tiamat monster, one of the most powerful creatures in the ocean. The Tiamat monster possesses extreme radiation, absorbing radiation from solar storms for thousands of years. It made it the only monster with comparable radiation to Godzilla. Godzilla's purpose in reaching the lair of the Tiamat monster was to absorb the radiant energy from the creature. Godzilla felt that the radiant energy from Tiamat would give him the additional strength he desperately needed to face the threats that might come in the future. He was determined to get the radiant energy he needed, even if it meant facing the most powerful monster in the ocean. After escaping from the man-eating jungle, Dr. Aline's group finally found a place full of ancient ruins. They realized that the ruins were relics of human civilization, just like the ones they encountered on Earth. They decided to investigate further, and in the process, they found a button hidden in the center of the ancient ruins. Without hesitation, Jia pressed the button, and suddenly a stream of water began to flow from somewhere unknown. Curious, Dr. Aline's entourage followed the water flow and eventually arrived at a mysterious place. It was hidden behind a strange organic wall. They decided to break through the wall without hesitation, and what they found inside was truly unique. Inside the organic fence, they found a completely different world. At the center of the world were three magnificent, giant pyramids made of crystal. Dr. Aline realized that the three pyramids had the same shape as the triangular symbol they had previously received, indicating that this place was the destination of their journey. On the banks of a calm river, Kong and Zuko took a short break. Zuko cheerfully invited Kong to rest there, but behind his smile laid an evil intention to trap Kong again. Unsuspecting, Kong accepted Zuko's invitation and rested on a riverbank. Suddenly, however, the tranquil atmosphere was disturbed by the presence of a giant sea dragon monster that emerged from the water. In an instant, the sea dragon monster attacks Kong, forcing him to fight for his safety. While Kong struggled against the beast, Zuko tried to escape the situation. However, his efforts were cut short when Kong's axe quickly stopped him in his tracks. As it turned out, Kong initially knew the little gorilla's plan. With his strength and courage, Kong defeated the giant sea dragon monster in no time. After the battle, Kong showed genuine kindness by inviting the little gorillas to eat together. Zuko was deeply touched by Kong's kindness, feeling surprised that Kong was so kind and caring to him. He realizes that Kong was not just a giant, strong monster, but also has a gentle and kind heart. As they were together, they savored their moment together by the river. In an instant, the atmosphere in Tiamat's lair turned tense when Godzilla entered her territory. Tiamat, a powerful and fierce monster, soon sensed Godzilla's presence and was disturbed by this invasion. Furious, Tiamat attacked Godzilla mercilessly, triggering an epic battle between the two giant monsters. Tiamat used all her strength to attack Godzilla, trying to strangle him with her massive muscular body. However, Godzilla was not an easy opponent to conquer. Godzilla managed to break free from Tiamat's grip with his courage and strength, using his powerful atomic breath to fight back. Godzilla's nuclear breath's powerful blast of energy hit Tiamat hard, shattering her massive and influential body. The Tiamat monster died with its body in pieces, ending its threat to Godzilla and its territory. This fierce battle reaffirmed Godzilla's strength and resilience as the king of all monsters, showing that no one could defeat him in a fair fight. While Dr. Aline's party was still following the stream of water that led them to the New World, they were suddenly stopped by troops from the Miseries tribe. They were captured and taken to the tribe's headquarters. There, they were confronted by the queen of the Miseries tribe, who turned out to be a race of the Ewe tribe that was considered extinct. The existence of Dr. Aline's group, especially Jia as the last descendant of the Ewe tribe, surprised the queen and the Miseries tribe. They had no idea there were still descendants of the Ewe tribe living in the Hollow Earth. The queen, who could read minds by touch, watched Jia closely. After the queen confirmed that Dr. Aline's group was not a threat, they were all given protection and welcomed into the tribe's temple. Inside the temple, located inside a crystal pyramid, they saw a crystal that emitted a unique energy that could emit electromagnetic waves. Dr. Aline realized that the previous sign for help, consisting of 3 triangles, came from this Ewe race. It was a surprising discovery, as they had not previously known that the Ewe tribe still existed and were in Hollow Earth. Inside the temple, they also found a fascinating ancient monument. Dr. Aline, interested in history and culture, began to study the monument. With great enthusiasm, she began the process of reading and translating the text on the ancient monument. She uncovered hieroglyphics displaying the past and future. Dr. Aline discovered a very interesting historical story through the text on the ancient monument. It told of the origins of the Ewe tribe and the history of their journey within the Hollow Earth. In the past, the Titan monsters were considered the protectors of nature because they played an essential role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems in various parts of the world. They protected nature by keeping the food chain, controlling other animal populations, and repairing disturbed ecosystems. Gorilla monsters, or ape monsters, on the other hand, were often regarded as protectors and guardians of the human race. They had an emotional bond and a special relationship with humans, traditionally believed to protect them from external threats. However, one individual in the gorilla race decided to violate his nature as a protector of humans. He disobeyed and behaved aggressively, causing conflicts with humans or even with other monsters of Godzilla's race. The epic battle between the gorilla race led by Scar King and the Godzilla race was another tense moment in Hollow Earth. The gorilla race, previously regarded as the protector of humans, now turns against the king of monsters, Godzilla, with evil intentions. Scar King, the brave and powerful leader of the gorilla race, led his troops in a determined attack on Godzilla and his army. Their battle created great turmoil in Hollow Earth, bringing forth a powerful boom that shook the earth and the sky. Despite the gorilla race's incredible strength and ferocity, Godzilla and his army did not give up easily. They fought back tenaciously, using their powers and skills to defend themselves and protect nature. The battle was fierce, with both sides facing each other in relentless attacks. However, in the end, the gorilla race led by Scar King won the war. Arriving at the ape's base, Kong was greeted with a distressing sight. Although happy to find his kin still alive, sadness engulfs his heart as he witnesses the apes being treated as enslaved people by their fellows. Torn between joy and resentment, Kong felt responsible for changing the fate of his race. When Kong saw one of the apes fall victim to oppression, his protective instincts spurred him into action. Without hesitation, Kong stepped forward to defend him, unleashing a dazzling display of strength. However, his actions incurred the wrath of the apes who controlled his slaves. The situation escalated when Kong refused to submit to their orders. In the eyes of the ruling apes, Kong's actions were considered intolerable rebellion. They felt threatened by Kong's disobedient behavior. However, Kong was undaunted. He stood firm, ready to defend truth and freedom for his race. In Kong's heart, his determination to liberate the apes from oppression was burning. In his courage to fight oppression, Kong did not hesitate to show strength to the oppressive apes. With one mighty blow, Kong knocked the ape who was bullying his comrade unconscious, sending a loud message that bullying would not be tolerated. A roar echoes from Kong, filling the ape's base and creating a sense of fear that shakes them. However, the action also attracted the attention of the Scar King, the leader of the expelled apes. In a heated confrontation, the Scar King challenged Kong to a duel. The fight becomes epic, with the Scar King wielding a deadly whip weapon that appears to have come from another monster. Despite being caught in the grip of the sharp whip, Kong did not give up. With incredible strength and courage, Kong finally managed to strike the Scar King down, conveying that oppression and violence have no place. In a rage, the Scar King pulled out a secret weapon, a blue crystal hidden in his whip. With the crystal's power, he summoned a titan monster of the lizard race, Shimo, and forced her to attack Kong. At first, Shimo showed disobedience, but the pressure exerted by the blue crystal finally gave her to Scar King's orders. Shimo unleashed her ice attack with a single stroke that slammed into Kong. Kong tried to block the attack with her axe weapon. Still, the attack was too powerful, leaving his hands severely injured from frostbite caused by the extremely low temperatures from Shimo's ice attack. Injured, Kong found it difficult to fight two enemies at once. Realizing that this battle would not end well for him, Kong decided to retreat and look for an opportunity to fight another day. In a problematic situation, Kong fled, accompanied by Suko. Although running away was a wise choice, Kong's heart was filled with regret that he could not provide enough protection to his oppressed race. However, he knew his intelligent return was the only way to fight his future enemies. With a heavy heart, Kong continued his journey with the little ape, seeking temporary shelter and planning the next step in his fight against evil forces threatening the peace of Hollow Earth. After reading the ancient monument at the Iwi tribe's temple, Dr. Aline finally found an important clue that revealed the true purpose of Jia's existence. As it turned out, in the ancient proposal, Jia could summon the dormant monster Mothra. This discovery opens Dr. Aline's eyes to Jia's important role in maintaining the balance of nature, which she passed down from her ancestors. However, with such great power also come great responsibility. Jia was not just an ordinary girl, but the heir to a mission of great importance. Dr. Aline soon realized that protecting Jia was the key to ensuring the safety and well-being of all creatures in Hollow Earth, including humans, monsters, and the Iwi tribe itself. Kong had emerged from the 8-tribe sanctuary, but Scar King's henchmen were still in pursuit. Kong attempted to escape by leading them into a trap he had set while hunting. Fortunately, with the trap activated, the pursuing monsters became ensnared, allowing Kong to flee their grasp. However, with many still chasing him, Kong found himself trapped on a ledge, unable to escape the relentless pursuit. In this dire situation, Kong had to find a way to overcome the looming threat. Although there was a trap prepared, it seemed to malfunction. Suko, with its cunning, recognized the danger Kong faced. Quickly, it moved towards Kong's prepared trap and managed to activate it. As the trap sprung, the pursuing monsters became ensnared, shocked, and confused by the sudden events, allowing Kong to escape. With Suko's help, Kong successfully navigated past the obstacle. Though challenges still laid ahead, Kong was no longer alone. He had a loyal ally in Suko that had aided him. Kong and Suko moved slowly, seeking a safe place to rest and heal Kong's wounds. While Kong had managed to escape danger, the pain from his severe injuries still troubled him. Sensing Jia, Kong located the temple. Meanwhile, Godzilla slumbered within the ice, absorbing energy from Tiamat's nest. Despite appearing tranquil in his sleep, the power within him continued growing. The slowly absorbed energy strengthened Godzilla's body, readying him to rise and continue his role as one of the mighty titans. Godzilla's presence posed a potential threat to the creatures nearby in the seeming calm surrounding Tiamat's nest. With the energy flowing within him, Godzilla would soon rise again, prepared to resume his role as a formidable protector. Kong's injured condition left him in pain as he arrived at the Iwi tribe's sanctuary. At the same time, Scar King's henchmen continued to pursue them. Meanwhile, Scar King's henchmen discovered the Iwi tribe's sanctuary and observed a portal leading to the surface world. They promptly reported their findings to Scar King. On the other hand, Suko carrying Kong felt anxious about their situation. While the Iwi tribe welcomed their arrival, the threat from Scar King's henchmen complicated matters further. Kong urgently needed assistance to treat his frostbitten hand. Trapper observed Kong's severely injured hand and realized that Kong needed immediate help. Quickly, Trapper began planning a way to heal Kong's frostbitten hand. Perhaps Trapper had medical knowledge or equipment that could assist in healing Kong's hand so it could be used again. He might search for medicines or medical supplies available at the Iwi tribe's sanctuary or use his knowledge of natural remedies to aid Kong. Trapper had to act swiftly to help Kong return to a better condition. Scar King's underlings promptly reported their findings to their master. They had discovered a hidden location with a teleportation device leading to the surface world. Upon hearing this information, Scar King became incredibly excited. He immediately followed his subordinates to the secret location with a teleportation device to the surface world. Scar King fervently controlled Shimo as his mount, ready to lead his troops to their new destination. Paying no heed to any obstacles in their path, Scar King and his henchmen advanced with a solid determination to reach their goal. After completing his evolution, Godzilla awoke from his slumber. His body was now enveloped in a pink aura emanating maximum radiation power. This evolution signaled that Godzilla's power had reached its peak. With his body gleaming with a dazzling pink color, Godzilla was ready to continue his role as a mighty guardian. Trapper quickly retrieved the device, a specially designed robot hand created by Monarch to assist Kong. This device was the solution to aid in healing Kong's frostbitten hand, which had previously rendered it unusable. Frostbite is a condition where body parts freeze and can cause permanent damage if not treated promptly. Using the device, Trapper hoped to restore Kong's hand function so that Kong could fight and compete again. The presence of this device at Monarch's outpost in the Hollow Earth indicated that Monarch had made thorough preparations to deal with emergencies like this and assist the Titan creatures under its supervision. Kong, now strengthened with his new robotic hand and additional electrical power from it, received a report from the small ape about the arrival of Scar King and Shimo. Although slightly surprised and panicked by the potential threat they posed, Kong quickly formulated a plan. Considering that Godzilla was a possible ally and facing the more significant threat of Scar King and Shimo, Kong decided to lure Godzilla to Hollow Earth. Recognizing the importance of coordination and unity between the two giant monsters, Kong hurried back through the teleportation gate to the surface world near the Magnificent Pyramid. Arriving there, Kong utilized his tremendous strength by emitting a roar echoing around the area, filling the air with reverberating vibrations. The roar aimed to attract the attention of Godzilla, the undefeated sea monster and powerful rival in the universe. As Godzilla heard Kong's distinctive roar, the thunderous sound vibrations reached the depths of the sea, stirring his deep-seated anger. Upon hearing Kong's roar, Godzilla eagerly awaited the call. Godzilla was furious with Kong for returning to the surface world, Godzilla's territory. In the Iwi tribe's sanctuary, Jia prepared an ancient ritual to summon Mothra, the legendary monster with extraordinary power. As night fell over the sky, Jia climbed the towering pyramid that served as the spiritual center of the Iwi tribe. With determination and conviction, Jia reached the pyramid's peak. Two towering pyramids faced each other, forming a mystical portal in between. With caution and reverence, Jia reached out her hand towards the portal, touching the ancient stones nestled between the two pyramids. The spiritual energy emitted by Jia merged with the forces of the universe, awakening the presence of Mothra, who had long been dormant in the dark dimension. With her majestic wings, Mothra rose from her slumber, ready to face the new challenges awaiting in the surface world. In an unexpected and urgent situation, Mothra joined Kong and Godzilla in the surface world, where a great battle was unfolding. On the other hand, the Iwi tribe had prepared a plan to assist Kong and Godzilla in their battle against Scar King and his henchmen. They realized that the two giant pyramids in their sanctuary were the primary sources of Scar King's power and decided to destroy them. By disrupting the gravity controlled by these pyramids, they hoped to disrupt the Scar King's power and turn the tide in the battle. Returning to the fight between Kong and Godzilla, when the two faced each other, Godzilla attacked Kong mercilessly in a fit of rage. Although Kong tried to communicate his good intentions to go to the world of Hollow Earth, Godzilla does not listen and immediately attacked with his immense power. The fight between the two became increasingly fierce. With a new weapon in the form of a robot hand, Kong delivered powerful blows to Godzilla. However, when Godzilla used his atomic breath attack, Kong tried to dodge by using the pyramid as protection. However, the pyramid was weak enough to withstand Godzilla's nuclear breath attack, and Kong fell under his feet. As Godzilla prepared to use his atomic breath attack again to destroy Kong, Mothra suddenly appeared and stopped the fight. Mothra's presence made Godzilla realize the true nature of the situation, and he agreed to join Kong and the Iwi tribe to fight the Scar King and his entourage. With Mothra's help, Kong, Godzilla, and the Iwi tribe were now united in their mission to stop the Scar King and save Hollow Earth from the threat of destruction that threatens it. But the real battle wasn't over, and their biggest challenge still lies ahead. The epic battle between Godzilla and Kong against Scar King and Shimo occurred at the Iwi tribe's base, which has become a significant battleground. With their arrival, the battle instantly became fiercer. The two giant pyramids being destroyed had disrupted gravity in the world, causing their struggle in the air. Kong fought the brutal and cunning Scar King with his strength and speed. Scar King wields his whip weapon with incredible skill, trying to overwhelm Kong with every blow. However, Kong did not relax his attacks, using his robotic arm with unmatched skill to hit Scar King. On the other hand, Godzilla was engaged in a devastating battle with Shimo, a powerful and ferocious giant lizard monster. Shimo used her incredible strength against Godzilla, spreading chaos with her deadly ice attacks. However, Godzilla did not back down, using his atomic breath power and legendary courage to fight Shimo. The battle unfolded with undeniable intensity, with both sides exchanging deadly attacks. Amid the raging fight, Mothra stepped in the temple, providing crucial help and support to Kong and Godzilla in the face of their enemy. With help from Mothra and Zuko, Kong and Godzilla's entourage gained the upper hand in the battle against the Scar King's ape entourage. Mothra used her net to bind the apes led by Shimo, while the little ape fought vigorously against his enemies. Suddenly, the previously disrupted gravity was restored, sending them all tumbling out of the sky that had become their battleground. However, in the chaos, Kong, Godzilla, Scar King, and Shimo fell through a teleportation gate that took them to the world above. When they arrived in the upper realm, things became even more complicated. Conditions in the upper sphere differed vastly from Hollow Earth, and they had to quickly acclimate to the new environment. With their battle still unfinished, Kong and Godzilla must now face new challenges in the upper realm, while Scar King and Shimo will not remain silent either. Their epic battle has transcended the boundaries of Hollow Earth and now continues its story in the upper realm. With their arrival in the upper realm, Scar King was happy that he was finally free from Hollow Earth. She immediately ordered Shimo to return to the surface and destroy the human cities with her ice blasts. However, before Shimo could carry out the order, Godzilla and Kong appeared to intercept them. Godzilla quickly delivered a decisive blow to the Scar King's face, causing the Ape King to whimper in pain. The blow even knocked the Scar King's teeth out, leaving the Ape King injured and angry. Godzilla and Kong's actions stopped Scar King and Shimo's evil plan to attack humans, allowing humans to avoid catastrophe. The battles between Godzilla and Shimo and Kong and the Scar King continued, causing significant damage to the surrounding urban areas. Meanwhile, on Hollow Earth, Zuko found Kong's abandoned axe weapon and intends to deliver it back to Kong to help him in the fight. In the battle between Kong and the Scar King again used Shimo to attack Kong with his ice blasts. However, thanks to his robot arm, Kong survived Shimo's ice attack. Godzilla's presence also helped Kong, as Godzilla attacked Scar King from behind with his atomic breath blast. Scar King panicked when he saw Godzilla's nuclear breath blast and tried to dodge it. However, Scar King's efforts were in vain as Godzilla managed to destroy his wit weapon. With Scar King's wit weapon destroyed, Shimo's controlling crystal was detached, releasing Scar King's control over the monster. Kong reacted immediately when he saw Scar King and Kong fighting over Shimo's control crystal. Both parties wanted to control Shimo, so they tried to grab the crystal. However, Zuko intervened in this fight. Armed with Kong's axe, the little ape destroyed Shimo's control crystal, causing a massive explosion. The explosion freed Shimo from the Scar King's control. Meanwhile, the Scar King, angry at Zuko, received a heavy blow from Kong, which sent him flying. Godzilla seized this opportunity and ordered Shimo to attack Scar King with his ice blast. Shimo, now free, obeyed Godzilla's command and sprayed her ice at the Scar King. The Scar King's body froze into ice, and Kong ended the fight by slamming it very hard, crushing it, and confirming the Scar King's death. After the epic battle, Godzilla celebrated the victory in his signature way by blowing his atomic breath into the sky. Then, as usual, Godzilla returned to his coliseum to rest, sleeping peacefully like a peaceful house animal. Meanwhile, Kong, Zuko, and Shimo returned to their ape lair. There, Kong began to take on the role of leader and cemented himself as King Kong, replacing the previously violent Scar King. Kong was determined to lead the apes in a better direction that was full of justice and kindness. With the help of the little apes and the rest of the Ewe tribe, Kong planned to build a brighter future for their ape race on Hollow Earth. Thus, the battle between Kong and Godzilla was about supremacy between the two monster kings and a fair takeover of leadership and peace among the different races. So, what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you in the next video.